Siranush, we talk a lot about the 23 Armenian detainees, but in fact, these are simply the 23 acknowledged detainees. Can you tell us about the other missing Armenians from this conflict?
So, the society is or less aware about these 23 detainees, their faces. However, they just symbolize a fraction of a larger issue. Mostly, those conflicts leave behind different groups of victims, detainees, but also missing persons, and more dangerously, people being forcibly disappeared. There are many Armenians who remain unacknowledged by Azerbaijan. Non-governmental organizations, they conducted a fact-finding mission. And according to our data, at least 80 Armenians who appeared in the hands of Azerbaijani armed forces are currently taken away from legal certainty. Government denies their captivity. They fail to provide any information about their fate. However, mounting evidence, including verified video footages, eyewitness testimonies, they suggest otherwise. They prove that at certain point, 80 Armenians were alive. Without any significant wounds, they appeared in the hands of Azerbaijani agents. Despite repeated inquiries from international organizations, including UN Working Group on Enforced Disappearances, legal representatives, other concerned parties, Azerbaijan has systematically responded with formal denials, asserting that these Armenians are not among prisoners of war and are not being held in Azerbaijani custody. But this consistent policy of denialism also goes in hand with lack of cooperation in investigating the fate, whereabouts of forcibly disappeared Armenians. And this causes suffering to their families and also obstructs justice. This refusal is coupled also with state failure to reveal information or identify the perpetrators who are seen in video or photo materials. Families find themselves in an unbearable psychological situation. This uncertainty causes a state of constant distress, unable to grieve or find a closure for the matter. Their suffering is compounded by the inaction of public authorities who have failed to initiate investigation, to include them as victims in investigations, to provide precise answers, or to take other meaningful steps directed to accountability. And this prolonged mental anguish amounts to a form of psychological torture, as families are trapped in an endless cycle of hope and despair, left to navigate their pain without any support or recognition of their sufferings. So we know that they were forcibly taken. Their families continue to search for them, and that Azerbaijani strategy of denial is preventing accountability and truth for families.